comfort zone for classic rock, 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning. It is Double T. It's time for Bar Comedy USA News with comedian J-Dog. J-Dog, what's going on today, buddy?
Good morning, Double T. Hey, man, I need to blow off some steam with you today.
What's the problem? I'm listening.
Well, we need to talk about something that's coming up that I am dreading with all of my soul, and that is April Fool's Day.
Oh, yeah, good old April Fool's Day. So I'm guessing, as a comedian, you're not a fan.
Not really. April Fool's Day is the one night of the year, the one day of the year, everyone suddenly thinks they're a comedian. It's like a 24-hour open mic night, except instead of laughter, you're just getting groans and eye rolls.
I know, man. And people take it too far always. You know, they don't stop when it's right. They just got to keep pushing and pushing.
They really do. It's free game for all the wannabe pranksters out there that turn into gangsters because you step outside and suddenly you're dodging buckets of water over doorways, fake spiders in your coffee mug, and whoopee cushions that make you jump like you've been electrocuted.
Does your son try to do that stuff to you?
I have two sons, and they both do that type of thing, and they feel like, "Hey, Dad, you should be into this. You should be good at this. You're a comedian." And when I'm grumpy about it, they start to question my ability to put food on the table.
Hold on 2 seconds here.
We always got to take a break. Not always, but whenever you do, you got to take a quick break, and then we got to pick it back up.
All right, sorry about that, Mike.
Oh, that's all right. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm trying to think where you left out. You were talking about your sons.
Yeah,
it's funny. I remember when I was a kid, I always would take one of those spider rings and put it on my mom's pillow to try to scare her. And I'd be in bed and she'd pull the blanket off and I could hear her scream in the middle of the night. Yeah. Kids, it's one thing with kids, though, but when adults are trying to do it, that's when it gets a little crazy.
It's a little bit nuts. It's like the day that adults can act like children, but their barrage of pranks and jokes are about as funny as a screen door on a submarine.
I'm picturing that in my head right now.
I mean, it's the one day of the year where even the most boring guy at the office thinks he's a comedy genius. Hey, Double T, did you hear the one I just pulled off? You're never going to believe it. I just put salt in the sugar shaker. And you're like, yeah, hey, real groundbreaking stuff there, Dave.
Though I do say 1 year I did have a fun one. I replaced the soda in the pop machine with beer. But I thought that was an upgrade for everybody.
Well, that's definitely an upgrade. I mean, that's more like April Thankful Day. That's like Thanksgiving in April.
Or you get those people that go on social media like, Michael Jordan is coming back. No, he's not. Why do you do stuff like that?
Yeah, you can clearly see through the prank. I love the idea of the beer in the soda machine. If you're going to do a prank, do something in a way that's going to make the day better. I don't like these types of pranks where they're like trying to convince you they sold your car on Craigslist for $1.
That's not funny. That's mean. That's just mean-spirited. Why? When did April Fool's Day become mean-spirited is what I want.
Yeah, I blame social media for that. It's like, hey, if I can get terrible video to put on TikTok of my coworker pulling off the fake Spriter prank. You know, come on, man. Nice try, but those types of pranks are about as convincing as a politician's promise.
What about doing a comedy show on April Fool's Day? That's got to suck.
Well, that can be a little challenging as well because again, everybody thinks they're a comedian, and it's going to certainly be challenging to do a comedy show on April Fool's this time around because it's a Monday. Who the heck is going to go out on a Monday night to see a comedy on April Fool's Day? And then if you are up there, you crack a joke. Suddenly, you've got a crowd of pranksters waiting to pull the rug out from under you faster than you can even deliver the setup. So comedians are really just like walking targets on April Fool's Day. There's tons of pressure. It's like this. It's like Super Bowl for all the amateurs out there. But instead of the equivalent of a touchdown pass, you've got whoopee cushions.
Oh, the good old whoopee cushions. That's Bar Comedy USA comedian Jared Dog. Jared Dog, tell everybody about the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour.
The Pub and Grub Comedy Tour is so fun. We are on a mission to entertain the missed masses located in the nooks and crannies of America. And where a better place can you do that than your local watering hole? The nightclub, tavern, neighborhood restaurant, and bar. We bring live stand-up comedy, the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour, and you can get tickets anywhere you are. barcomictix.com. And just remember, April Fool's Day, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wacky. It could be a hell of a good time. And you may end up pulling off the prank of the century, but somehow I doubt it.
It's Rockford's home for Classic Rock 96.7 The Eagle. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Double T.
Appreciate it. Have yourself a good week.
Okay, you too, my friend.
Thanks, man.
Talk to you soon. And that's it for this week's edition of Bar Comedy USA News on 96.7 FM in Rockford, Illinois. The Eagle, you can listen to last week's episode, now available for replay, barcomedyusa.com. And the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour coming to a town near you. Go to barcomictix.com. And a big shout out to all the comedians and venues with the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour last week. We'll be back later on with more editions of Bar Comedy USA News, even without the segment that we do on the Eagle with Double T, giving some shout outs to some of the new venues that have joined the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour all over the country from Colorado to Connecticut. Thanks, guys. This is Jared Dog. See you next time. Dog bless America.